Hello friends, welcome to the world of project management and for the overview session on project resource management process, that is estimate activity resources. Motto of this training is to share my experience in preparing for PMP certification and I have prepared few slides. Let's quickly move to our agenda for this session that we are going to discuss on what is estimate activity process and its ITTOs in more detail, that is its inputs, tools and techniques and outputs. Let's start. It is the second process in the project resource management and it is defined as the process of estimating the team resources and the type and quantity of materials, equipment and supplies necessary to perform the project work. The main key benefit of this process is that it identifies the type, quantity and characteristics of resources required to complete the project. Hope you understood about its definition and the key benefit of this process. Let's go an overview on the ITTOs. In inputs, we have the project management plan, which consisting of the resource management plan and the cost baseline. And we have in the inputs project documents, which contains the activity attributes, activities list, assumption log, cost estimates, resource calendars, and risk register. And in inputs, we have the EFs and the OPS, enterprise environmental factors, and organizational process assets. Coming to the tools and techniques, we have the expert judgment, bottom up estimating, and loggers estimating, parametric estimating, data analysis technique, which consisting of the alternative analysis, and we have the PMIS, that is project management information system, and we have meetings. Coming to the outputs, we have the resource requirements, basis of estimates, resource breakdown structure, and the project document updates, which consisting of the activity attributes, assumption log, and the lessons learned registered. One more important point to note here, the estimate activity resources process is closely coordinated with the other processes such as the estimate cost processes. Hope you understood this. Okay, fine. Let's go with the ITTOs in more detail. First with inputs. In inputs, we have the first, the project management plan, which consisting of the resource management plan and the scope baseline. Let me explain the resource management plan and the scope baseline. The resource management plan defines the approach to identify the different resources needed for the project. And coming to the scope baseline. The scope baseline identifies the project and product scope necessary to meet the project objectives. Okay, hope you understood about this first input. Let's move to the next input. We have the project documents, which contains the activity attributes, activity list, assumption log, cost estimates, resource calendars, and risk registered. Let me explain one by one. First with activity attributes. The activity attributes provides a primary data source for use in estimating the team and the physical resources required for each activity on the activities list. And coming to the activities list, the activities list identifies the activities that will need the resources. Hope you understood this activity attributes and the activities list. Moving to assumption log. The assumption log may have the information on productivity factors, availability, cost estimates, and approaches to work that will influence the nature and the number of team and physical resources. Hope you understood this. And coming to the cost estimates. The cost of resources may impact the resource selection from the quantity and the skill level perspectives. Hope you understood this. Moving to the resource calendars. A resource calendar identifies the working days, shifts, start and end of normal business hours, weekends, and public holidays when each specific resource is available to the project, as similar as we maintain the shift rotas in our daily projects. Hope you understood this one. Moving to the risk register. The risk register describes the individual risk that can impact the resource selection and the availability. Okay, hope you understood about the project documents inputs. Let's move to the next input. We have EEFs, that is enterprise environmental factors, which may include the resource location, resource availability, team resource skills, organizational structure, or the publishing, estimating data, and the marketplace conditions. Okay, hope you understood what are the factors includes in the EFs. Moving to the OPAs, organizational process assets. It may include the policies and procedures regarding the staffing, and it may include the policies and procedures related to the supplies and equipment, and it may include the historical information regarding the types of resources that's used for previous projects. Hope you understood about the estimate activity resources inputs. Let's move to the tools and techniques one by one. First, starting with expert judgment. As I said in my previous sessions, expertise should be considered from the individuals or groups with some specialized knowledge or training in team and physical resource planning and estimating. Hope you understood about this expert judgment. Moving to the next technique, we have bottom up estimating. In this estimating, the team and the physical resources are estimated at the activity level and then aggregated to develop the estimates for the work packages, control accounts, and the summary project levels. Hope you understood what is bottom up estimating. Moving to the next technique, we have analogous estimating. The analogous estimating uses the information regarding the resources from the previous similar projects as the basis for estimating the next future projects. Hope you understood what is analogous estimating. Moving to the parametric estimating. Parametric estimating uses an algorithm or a statistical relationship between the historical data and other variables to calculate the resource quantities needed for an activity that's based on the historical data and the project parameters. Hope you understood about the estimating technique of this process. Let's move to the next technique. We have the data analysis technique, which consists of the alternative analysis method. Let me explain what is alternative analysis method. The alternative analysis is used to evaluate the identified options in order to select the options or approaches to use it to execute and to perform the work of the project. Hope you understood this. Moving to the next technique, we have PMIS, that is Project Management Information System. The project management information system can include the resource management software that can plan, organize, and manage the resource pools and develop the resource estimates. Okay, hope you understood this. What is PMIS? Moving to the meetings. And this the project manager may hold the planning meetings with some different functional managers to estimate the resources needed per activity, level of effort, skill level of the team resources, and the quantity of the materials needed. So all this will be discussed in these meetings. Okay, hope you understood about all the tools and techniques of the estimate activity resources process. Let's move to the outputs. First, starting with the resource requirements. What is resource requirements? This output resource requirements identify the types and quantities of the resources required for each work package or activity in a work package and can be aggregated to determine the estimated resources for each work package, that is each work breakdown structure branch and the project as a whole. Okay, hope you understood resource requirements. Moving to the next output, we have basis of estimates. We have the supporting details for the resource estimates that includes the method used to develop the estimate, resources used to develop the estimate, assumptions associated with the estimate, known constraints, range of estimates, confidence level of the estimate, and the documentation of identified risk including the estimates. Okay, fine. Hope you understood the basis of estimates, the supporting factors also. Let's move to the next output. We have resource breakdown structure. What is RBS? The resource breakdown structure is a hierarchical representation of the resources by category and type. Just refer to the slide for example. Here the example of resource categories includes the labor, material, equipment and supplies. And the resource types may include the skill level, grade level, required certifications or other information as appropriate to the project. Okay, hope you understood about this RBS also. Let's move to the next output. We have project document updates that includes the activity attributes, assumption log, and the lessons learned registered. Let me explain one by one. The activity attributes are updated with the resource requirements, and the assumption log is updated with the assumptions regarding the types and quantities of the resources required for the project. And coming to the lessons learned registered, this can be updated with some different techniques that were efficient and effective in developing the resource estimates, and also the information on those techniques that were not effective or efficient. Okay, hope you understood about all these outputs also for the estimate activity resources process. So here we complete our session on the project resource management knowledge area, that is estimate activity resources. Okay, hope this complete session is easy and understandable. Let's discuss more detail on the next process in this knowledge area, that is acquire resource process. Okay, kindly provide your feedback on the given email ID if you like this video, and share it with your friends and subscribe my channel. Bye for now. It's your Anil Kumar Dharam.